This podcast is just for fun. It's all fake. Don't believe us. Look, do your own research.
They're just smoking humans.
Welcome
to
the
show.
I forgot to pull the baby monitor up.
Oh no!
Real quick. I know. I know.
There's probably having a party up there.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
If you don't subscribe to the Patreon, you wouldn't get this. But we start every Patreon episode with just a 10-second beat that we did,
Like a party boy.
Yeah.
Patreon. It's so dumb, but that gets stuck in my head all the time now, and I wanted when we start recording on the show, I'm like, Patreon. Oh wait, this isn't Patreon.
That's the way the theme for this one did for me. It got stuck in my head pretty quick because we went on a long road trip when I first started listening to you guys.
Yeah,
and boy, that song got stuck in my head.
Oh, dude,
quick.
I did.
I've gotten so many comments and questions about it and stuff.
Yeah.
I do have it, and I am gonna publish it to the Patreon. I had somebody request it, and I just keep forgetting to put it on there. The full song.
Because
the
verse 2.
You get one part of the song during the middle, and then you get one part of the song at the end, and there's still another part of the song that's part of the full song that I made. But I'll post the full song on the Patreon. Speaking of the Patreon, don't forget to join the Patreon.
Yep.
$5 gets you into the door. And now there's like 15 hours of bonus content. We just wrapped up talking about this week's Patreon, which will air on Wednesday for the Patreon subscribers. Man, we talked about a lot of things.
It was a tough topic.
We cannot, the topic we talked about.
It was a tough topic.
We cannot talk about on the regular podcast.
Yeah.
It is. If you enjoyed our band episode that one time.
Yeah.
You probably would really enjoy the Patreon because we talk about deeper stuff. I literally had to stop myself at one point.
BANNED.
Yes. At one point, I stopped myself and I said, I got to remember, we're on the Patreon. I can say these words.
Right.
Yeah.
Literally, like halfway through the episode, I was like, I'm stuttering because I'm trying to censor my words.
It's literally the stuff we get off our chests before we come down because we know we're not going to be able to talk about it on here.
Yeah.
And it's
get it out of the way.
Things that we need to, that we just things we think about and things we talk about.
Which is funny because
things we disagree on.
Because the podcast came to be a reality because there was a bunch of pent up stuff that you wanted to talk about, and now we have pent up stuff about the pent up stuff.
We can now get out.
Now we need a pre-show, and where we're just absolutely unhinged.
Yes. Yeah. We talk about all the band stuff on the Patreon.
Yes.
It's patreon.com/BA Bigfoot. BA is biblically accurate. In case I had somebody who didn't understand that the other day.
Really?
And I was like, BA is in biblically accurate. And they were like, oh, I just thought you were saying like a BA Bigfoot. And I was like, well, that's the pun that it's biblically accurate. BA and then
it was over explained
and then it's not funny anymore and they ruined it for me. Now I gotta cry in my pillow and be dramatic because that's how I live my life.
Do they listen because you just did a voice impersonation of them?
Probably.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, hey, you talked about me. I'm like, yep, that's how I do. We just recently had somebody join the Patreon, and immediately they shot up a request. They joined the $10 Patreon. $10 Patreon gets you priority episode request.
Yes.
So if you record an episode.
Okay.
So we literally had somebody join the $10 Patreon and immediately put in an episode request.
Yep.
And so, boom, top of the list. They want us to do a deep dive on just a deep dive on Appalachian folklore.
Ooh.
So once we are done with the,
I got to work on my Appalachian wood whistle.
I've got to work on saying Appalachia. Still.
Appalachian. Once we're done with the Dulce Base and adjacents, because it's going to create a couple spinoffs, at least one spinoff, I know for sure after today's episode. I guarantee we have at least one spinoff. Yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, this thing's just wild.
I promise you, we have at least one.
It's wild enough. I had to check with Tanner. I was like, okay, wait. What direction are we going? Because this could literally go a bunch of different directions.
So we've got one episode that's going to be a spinoff, and we might have a first time 4-parter for a show. We might have to have a 4th episode in order to get to all of this stuff.
I was not expecting that.
Crazy. No. Same. No. I had never even heard of it. I'll be honest.
I want to say I remember hearing about it way back in the day because it's in Colorado. I mean, it's not that far from, relatively speaking, it's not that far from where we're at. So I want to say I remember hearing about all this stuff, but it wasn't. It was so lock and key.
But it is
until recently.
Extreme southern Colorado, northern New Mexico.
Yeah.
Which is kind
area,
of
that weird area.
But we'll get into that in a minute. We got some current events we got to do, and we got to okay.
All right.
I was saving this C4, so I found a cherry cola C4 just randomly. Saving it for this episode. But then, and if you subscribe to our Patreon, you will get to hear it. We were joined by the mysterious, elusive. It's like a cat,
also
just in and
everywhere.
Out.
He's like that cat that shows up on your front porch because
what's up? I bring you tidings of energy drinks just in time.
It was so well timed.
John from Shatter and Lock. I'm going to give his business a shout out. If you're in the region. And
which business?
That's what I was going to say. And you need to store some stuff in a storage facility. Hit up John. If you need to buy or sell a house, hit up John. If you need to rekey that house or your car or just make a spare, hit up John. If you need some education on mathematics, if
for your high school,
if you need
or if you need it,
hit up John. And one of the joke I made on Patreon was, okay, so if you are needing to store your stuff in a storage facility because you're buying a new house, you've already used John in order to sell your old house, and you're using John to buy your new house, but you need to know the dimensions of the house, and you don't know the mathematics of the house, and you need to rekey it because you're buying a new house. It's all John.
It's just
one guy.
Like his own pipeline.
He does it all.
Like once you get started, he just guides you through life.
Yes.
Yep.
What a guru, man.
Anyway,
there's life coaches and there's
John.
There's John.
Yeah.
John's amazing.
He's a Swiss Army.
He showed up. He popped on. He conversated for a few minutes with us, and then he
has a fantastic voice. I didn't realize I heard him on the mics. I was like,
we need to get him on an episode.
He put on a headset?
Smooth.
Yes,
he sounded like a legit commercial without even practicing.
Bro was made for a radio.
It was so good. It was literally so good.
Just
it was
for
so
that
good.
split second. If people liked our voices on the radio or on podcast, and they're listening to Patreon, and then they get to John's voice, they're going to be like, "Wow, I didn't realize how horrible Mike and Tanner."
Or they're going to think, here's what they're going to think. They're going to think that it flipped to a commercial. And they'll be like, "I thought this was commercial free," because his voice is so commercial perfect.
Crisp.
Crisp.
Yeah.
It was great.
Gosh.
Anyway, it was so good to see him.
So he brought
me an energy drink.
He did.
He was very thoughtful.
First ever energy drink on the show.
The tagline of this is, "Are you bold enough?" Which sounds intense. And then the name of it is Agape Energy. My flavor is Preachin' Peach. And it has a picture of Jesus preaching.
I got Mighty Mango, and it is David getting ready to throw a rock. Goliath.
And I have Blessed Berry, and it is Noah's Ark with the dove. There's a rainbow arching over the top of it. Yo.
That's amazing. So on the back, mine has scripture. I wonder if your guys is different. Mine is Romans 10:14. It says, "How then shall they call on him?" I cannot read this very well in this lighting. "Call on him in whom they have not heard or believed." I should have this memorized. "And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher?"
Wait, I'm going to psychically send mine to you and see if you can guess what Bible verse it is.
Okay, what was the name of your flavor?
It is the Mighty Mango.
Oh my gosh!
And this is a Bible verse that tons of athletes have everywhere. It's very popular Bible verse.
Okay. Either athletes is it? I'm stuck between two. I was gonna say Hebrews 12 or 1 Peter.
No.
What is it?
Philippians 4:13.
I was going to say that. I literally have it pulled up.
Look at that.
You were saying, and I was like, he's going to say Philippians 4.
Philippians 4:13.
And I was like, I just need to check it.
That's a good.
I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, remember the through Christ who strengthens me part.
Yeah.
I became familiar with that one because that is the Bible verse that gets tagged onto stuff with Macy and her camp that we used to go to for kids with limb differences.
Oh yeah,
their whole thing is based around that Bible verse.
Nice.
So I was, as soon as I saw it, I didn't even have to read what it was. I knew what it was. That was cool.
Nice.
Think about mine, blessed berry. So what do you think it is?
It's got to be something in Genesis. If
Blessed
it's gotta know
are they who know my name.
Oh,
what is it?
No.
My
Blessed.
brain is.
There's a lot of blessed. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Wow.
6. Right? 7. Oh, yeah. That's your hint. Blessed appears in this excerpt like 7 times.
When there's pressure, my brain does not work and function. We know this.
They're called the Beatitudes.
Okay.
Matthew 5. So blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are those. Yep. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. And it kind of like fades in and then fades out.
I know. That's what mine has a lot of the verses around it.
It has a QR code and it says scan for context. We love context.
Yeah.
We love it.
This can goes deep, man.
Not gonna lie. Jesus themed anything is usually cheesy. Christian themed anything is usually cheesy. This is a quality can. Now, we need to taste the flavor.
Okay. I'm going to do green.
3.
Pack.
That was a wimpy can.
Oh, it smells
and they're the little skinny cans. Maybe that's why.
That was my first energy drink.
All right, let me get a smell of yours. That's legit. Here, smell mine.
Ooh.
It's strong.
Oh, yeah, that smells good.
I love the berry.
Ooh, yeah.
Do you want to smell mine? We're smelling it. You want to smell mine?
You want to sniff? You want to
smell mine?
You need a sniff?
Sure.
You can smell it.
All right, first drink of the mango.
All right, here we go. Preach a peach.
Okay, not a real sweet flavor, but I like that.
That's good.
It's smooth.
Oh.
I'm impressed.
Oh.
Yeah.
I would get this again.
I really like this.
It's, okay.
I would get this again. It's subtle. It doesn't taste like a 200 milligram caffeine.
When we had Underdog, the biggest issue with Underdog was its flavor didn't cover up the other ingredients.
The stuff.
Yeah.
This one is kind of like Underdog in that its flavor isn't super, like it doesn't taste super duper sweet, but it actually covers up the ingredients.
It's almost got like a carbonated juice flavor rather than a carbonated water flavor.
Yes, I would agree with that.
It is. Yeah.
It's not.
Honestly,
I would sip on this.
I don't like, a lot of times, I don't like the oversweet taste of energy drinks.
Same. Like C4's rough for me.
I had it like a few times and I was like, nah, no.
10 calories.
I would only drink it if I needed to.
Right. Carbonated filtered water, natural flavors, citric acid, green tea.
It does have the natural flavor in it. That's
sucralose.
Got a couple of grams of carbs.
Potassium, B6, and B12.
Made with honey.
Yours has honey?
Yeah.
How many calories does it have in it?
10.
How's it made with honey with 10 calories?
Tiny little bit of honey.
5 calories of honey? Like a
It's holy honey.
like a little drop of honey.
It's blessed honey.
I have no clue. Do you want to try it?
They bless the calories right out of it.
What are you eating?
Well, that's good. I wonder where you got these from.
Protein bar.
Oh.
I apologize. I'm trying not to make mouth noises.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
That is not bad.
I apologize.
What was the video that you sent all of us?
Forgiven?
Was it Forgiven?
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
I hope it wasn't this brand.
No, I know. That was the first thought I had. And then I actually started looking at this can and I was like, this seems a little more.
Yeah, this one is more like, if I were to create a Christian energy drink, this is more along the lines of
Yeah, that other one seemed like the like I said, the commercials for him on TikTok were just cringy enough that I sent it to you guys because I was like, oh.
The one you sent me looked like somebody who was not a Christian trying to be Christian.
Trying to sell to a Christian audience without actually
this one
all the buzzwords in it.
Right, but this one is agape energy, and if you don't know what agape is, like
you're gonna pronounce it agape.
Yeah, and if you're chances are if you're not a Christian or haven't been around Christians, you probably don't know what agape is.
No,
do you know what agape is?
You'll
like?
see the
love. Yes. It's one of the loves.
Yep, one of the five loves. Do you know what the other ones are?
If I see them, I know that's what they are.
There's phileo. There's eros. Those are the three main ones I know.
Yeah, those are the three main ones.
Yeah. Because eros is like erotic love, and then kind of, isn't it like infatuation kind of love?
Now again, you put me on the spot, and my brain doesn't work.
And we just use one word.
And then
for
phileo
all
is brotherly love. So that's actually like Philadelphia phileo.
Right. I always love preaching on it just because it's funny. Because it's like, I love peanut butter.
Yeah.
And I love my son. How are those the same word?
Yeah.
If peanut butter ceased to exist, my heart would break a little bit, But the other, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'd move on. Pretty quick.
I've had many moments like that while writing where I'm like, I wish there was another word, and like I'll look up synonyms and stuff, and it's like
there are a lot of words for love, but we lump everything into that one word. Yeah. We do,
and
there's
sometimes
a ton of words for love.
It just takes more words to have your meaning come across.
Yep.
Yeah,
and it's like I wish there was just like one word.
And I do think that as a result, that we tend to lump things like lust in with love.
Oh yeah,
because there's only one word for love. Because you like somebody more than like, so you must love them. But the reality is, it's not that level of love. But it's and so it's like, okay, but it's not lust. But
in the ancient days of giants, when the earth was wild and free, a creature roamed the valleys, cloaked in mystery. Is he born of angels' blood and man, a Nephilim so tall, or a shadow of the fallen, yet he the maker's call? He's a biblically accurate Bigfoot, with a lineage from the skies. Not a myth or legend, but a truth that never dies. Is he a remnant of the Nephilim, a titan standing tall? Or does he have the word of God upon him, the last to hear the call?
So
that's involved.
So a shameless plug for my music I just released on Spotify. Go follow me on Spotify, by the way.
Ooh.
Mr. Nice Guy, no spaces, no periods, just one word.
By the way, Mr. Nice Guy, there are a lot of them.
There's a lot of them. But I'm the only one. I'm the only one that is one word, MR, nice guy with no spaces.
Okay, no spaces. Okay.
There you go.
The rest of them all have periods and spaces and stuff all over in weird places.
Okay. Good distinction. Good distinction.
Anyway, I've got 3 songs that I put out that are about love. All 3 of them are different kinds of love. Because one of them was for my wife. One of them is like an infatuation, hey, I notice you kind of love. Actually, 4.
Gross.
I got 4 actually, because another one is a love where it's, we were meant to be in this place where we're at. And then I got a song for my grandma.
Aww.
Yeah. So, yeah. So there's a lot of love in my, and then I got the Bravo Boys, love for the boys. That one's about love too, I suppose.
Brotherly love.
I'm just doing all the.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm just all about love, I guess. There you go.
Boom. Yeah.
Yep. Just levels. Anyway, that was a fun little project, by the way. That was a good time.
That's awesome.
Those together,
That's actually a great segue because I was actually just going to.
I did that on purpose because I read your mind. And I knew where we were going with
it. Well, Courtney got her book back from her editor.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
And so she's putting in some changes, and I want to just shout out again that she will be looking for a street team. I don't know.
Yeah, beta readers is next.
Beta readers?
And then probably street team. So
beta readers, and if you are close to us and you know us and you listen and you hear this, guess what? You have a good chance to become a beta reader.
Yes, but also if you don't make the cut, then don't be personally
you should take
offended,
it very personal.
Please.
Be offended. Just embrace the offense. Let that hate
see. Yeah, we'll see
drive you.
Okay. Well, Not,
I like
not
doing
the
things like that.
I want.
No. I like doing things like that because it sounds so nonsensical. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like obviously, like who would get offended? But somebody will get offended over stupid like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's actually one of my. I don't know if I've ever vocally said why I do it, but I go to the exact opposite because it makes it seem so stupid. In hindsight, and it's like
that's fine.
Courtney, is it funny to you too? Like I was thinking the other day how when you map out how you get to where you're at and things that you're passionate about and things that are happening, how you got there.
Yeah.
Because I know with this music thing, I mapped it out and I was like, if you hadn't started the podcast and I hadn't joined the podcast and Insane Labs hadn't reached out and we reached out to Insane Labs,
I wouldn't have
and
even
we had
been
met
on,
Javi, and Javi would have said, hey, you sing? Here's some music. And Javi coached me through a bunch of stuff. I wouldn't have music out on the thing, and I wouldn't be having that part of who I am, that passion that I've had for a long time, but just didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
You know, have you ever done that? Like mapped it out? What's your map look like?
I've thought about it. Oh goodness, it's hard to track.
You've been doing this for a long time.
This is actually my third book that I've written.
Yeah.
So like I finished. I was writing I've been writing. I wrote my first book. I started it when I was 14. I finished it when I was in college. I finished
phenomenal
my second
book
one.
in and of itself too.
It's a fantasy duology, and I finished that right after college. And then it was just an editing. Just editing, and then I realized like a lot of that was just out of fear and what do I do with this?
Right.
And then writing just kind of took a back seat, and so did reading to ministry and getting my credentials, and then kids, and then but I was always working on this third project. I've had this idea since 2014, and so it's finally coming to fruition. So it's on the back burner.
Isn't that funny though?
I almost went into an English major, and then I kind of got talked out of it. And it's one of those moments in my life when I was like, would I have been able to make it? But like I was kind of intimidated by a conversation I had with my advisor, and she was like, it's just a really hard major. And just at that time in my life, I wasn't very sure of myself. And I was like, oh, so then maybe this isn't for me, because maybe she's, no. There's just a lot, and then it keeps coming back, and I'm like, I really just feel like God's supposed to be using me for this, and so I'm going to keep writing no matter what. It's even if it was, it's a passion. It's more than a passion. It's
when we talked about that upstairs too.
It's something I have to get out. I have to. It's inside, and I have to get it out. Anyways, the question has always just been: is this supposed to be more for me, or just for me, or is it for something beyond?
And we're at a point in our lives, we talked about that upstairs, we're at a point in our lives where we can do this passion, and if it doesn't reach people, if it doesn't take off or do anything, it's for us. It's for our own, we did this kind of thing, you know? When I was looking at music stuff, it's funny you said with the books and stuff, I've written music forever, and I usually get to the point where I've edited it and re-edited it so many times that I start to hate it. And so I shelf it and I never share it with anybody. And so I have all these ideas. And so then it just took some people believing and saying, hey, you know what? We want you to try this. And I was like, all right, let's do it. And so, And the technology to catch up with.
Exactly.
So I'm not spending so much time on it. Technology has been huge to help me out.
Okay. But also like the indie publishing route. If I had tried this 10 years ago, it would not have hard. Like it just having like whatever it was back then, like Amazon Create Space or whatever it was. Like there's so many more resources there's indie author communities. There's like people can have thriving careers just doing indie and not going the traditional publishing route at all. And so it's like it takes a certain sort of pressure off. A little bit, because I queried for like 2 years. I put it out there.
See, in
didn't get much back.
90s, 2000, I would have had to, in the music industry, I would have had to pay for studio time. I would have had to pay a band. I would have had to pay backup singers. I would have had to pay a producer, all those things just to make a tape that I could take to record companies and to maybe see if they would look at it. Now I can do all that stuff myself with you know, apps and AI and distribution companies and, you know, just networking. You know, with social media and stuff, it's a different world. You know, it's like my music stuff had to catch up, or the technology had to catch up with the music stuff in order for it to make sense for me to even do this. You know, and I know in the indie author world, same thing.
Yeah.
You didn't have that on your list, did you?
No.
Nope.
It was a big tangent. But yeah, looking forward to that. Because I am getting my manuscript back from my editor. I am like, now I have to go through and make more edits. And then I'm going to do beta readers. And, you know, if beta readers are like, hey, this didn't work for me, and I get enough feedback like that, I'm going to have to make more edits. But then it'll finally be ready. And I also want to drop that. I am going to do a title reveal here soon, too.
Oh, sweet.
I kind of like just rolling it out. And to help advertise when the beta reader, not season, the beta reader like period is, you know, afoot and about to happen. So yeah, be watching for that. I'm glad to finally be talking about it by title and not trying to like censor myself. I am
excited to see how excited you are about it. Honestly, that's cool.
We'll see.
It's very, very cool. I love when people are passionate about things and you know, don't care about haters, don't care about, you know, success versus failure. It shouldn't matter. You know, when you're passionate about something, you know. Tanner, I'm working on my chaos. I'm working on being a chaos agent when I retire. So
nice.
How am I doing?
What? What were you going to say?
I don't know. I was just going to say that I've always wondered like how I would handle criticism like that. And, you know, just with that one video of mine that went viral, which it's almost at like 300,000 views right now. But
it's scary.
Yeah, you know,
I see those comments and I'm
followers.
like,
I teach my kids all the time the difference between goals and dreams. I said, people will help you with your goals and they will cheer for your goals and they will love your goals. Your dreams, your passions, people are going to poo-poo on those, boy. Yes. They're going to hate on you.
Yes.
And, you know, and I didn't realize how real that was. And it is. It's very real. And like, people will hate on your dreams.
Okay.
They will hate on those big dreams.
Until you begin to achieve something.
Yes. Then they want to be
because when I would tell people about the podcast when we first started, people were like, "Oh, that's cool. That'll be fun." And then the other day, people were asking about the podcast. I was like, "Dude, we're monetized. We got a Patreon. We make money from commercials. We're getting ready to produce merch. It pays for. It's going to buy the Patreon is going to pay for a camera so that we can do live. And we get these sharing some of my analytics. They're like, holy, whoa." And I'm like, and they're like, dude, that's amazing. And then all of a sudden they're excited. And now they're like, can I jump in on this? I'm going to listen now.
I know.
It's like, wait, you're going to listen now that it's successful? Not when I needed you at the beginning?
Yes.
I don't want you in my life.
Same thing with this music thing. When I said I'm going to try to put this album out, how many people laughed? And how many people I said, you want to hear the song? They're like, no, I don't want to hear a song you wrote for your wife. And I was like, fine, I don't want to share it with you anyway. Yeah. Just haters. And saying, oh, you're using AI. Why wouldn't I use AI? It's available. You know how many, like in the 1960s and 70s, how many musicians used the exact same band and used pre-recorded tracks to make their music?
Oh, yeah.
Because it already existed.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that modern artists aren't using AI.
They do. They absolutely
100% do. Mm-hmm. I was like, so I started arguing. I was like, it's not worth arguing with this person. They're just being a hater.
Yeah.
And now those same people are coming by, hey, I heard your song. It's really great. You know, it's funny how they change their tune really quick. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yep.
No, that's kind of the season that I'm at now because I was going to finish in saying that like all of the comments and the criticisms on my beliefs on like what should and shouldn't be in a YA book. I'm kind of like, oh, yeah, you can call me puritanical. You can, call me, accuse me of being a PDF, like whatever. I know where I stand on this stuff, and I know what my aim is and stuff. Yeah. So I'm actually handling criticism a lot better than I ever thought I would. As a,
I think when you look at it from that perspective and just say that the bigger the dream, the more hate you're going to get from the beginning.
Yep.
Well, and then you've got
daring to have a voice on stuff. Yeah. And now I actually have people asking me like, oh hey, so like I just dropped a brief mention on a video the other day, like, hey, I got it back from my editor, and now I have people asking like, who's your editor? Like, I think my book's ready, and I'm like, what do I share? Like, what do I not share?
What can you share? Yeah.
Like, no.
And that's like,
I'm still having to familiarize myself with the process of this. So
I ran into some pastor friends that I absolutely love that just hadn't had it. They're not big podcast people, but they went on a road trip and they're like, hey, we listened to your podcast and like, I couldn't believe how amazing, like, and his wife was like, "Yeah, I was reading a book, and I actually had to quit reading because I was so interested in what you guys talking about."
We thought Tanner was a moron, and here he goes talking about this.
And I was like, and they were like, the topic doesn't, like, if you were to just tell me about this topic, it doesn't seem that interesting. But then as you guys were sharing about it, I'm sitting there going, "Wait, what?" And I was like, "Oh, what was the topic?" And she was like, "Oh, it was the Operation Paperclip episode." And I was like, "Yeah, that's a good one." But anyway,
and when you're passionate about your own stuff, you know what I mean? Like, you listen to the podcast and you enjoy listening to your own podcast. I enjoy listening to my own music. You enjoy reading your own stories.
I do. Yeah.
And, you know, if you love your own stuff, there's going to be an audience out there that loves your stuff too. So whatever your passion is, listeners,
do it.
Do some passion. Get out there. Do it. Put yourself out there. Take a chance.
I'm finding my audience.
Yeah.
Do it.
Take some risks.
Our audience.
Yeah.
And
make the world better.
If it's not for someone, then they can move on, and then that's fine.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Alrighty. Speaking of moving on,
we didn't do the affirmation yet.
Okay.
So, Mike, I'll do the number with you. Ready?
Okay. All right.
All right. Ready? Wait. Don't pick. You have a number already. Delete that. That's not right.
I'm gonna be mad if I deleted the right number.
Ready? Go.
17.
No.
23.
32.
Oh, my first number was 27 in my head.
I am psychically dyslexic.
All right. All right, Courtney, you ready? All right, I'm sending it now.
Oh, nope. My migraine's just coming back. That's it.
Are you sending her migraines, bro?
Yes.
Something about your head. Something about your mind. Your mind. Your head.
Very close.
Oh, she's on it today.
Be rare. Be remarkable.
This totally has to do with your head.
It sounds more like steak.
Be rare, remarkable. Yes.
Like that, though.
Yes. Hey, we open a steakhouse.
Sayings.
That's our motto.
Yes. Be rare.
Be rare.
Hey, that is good.
We're going to open a steakhouse in the back of the gym.
I was going to say, how many things do we have now? Because it's a gym.
It's a gym. It's a steakhouse. It's a bookstore.
Yes.
It's a jiu-jitsu lab.
Yes.
I tell you what, if
it's a supplement company where we sell energy drinks.
If this podcast thing were to take off and all of a sudden I became rich, I'd have like 15 businesses within like a week.
Yes.
Because I have the money to do all these things I would want to do.
You could do your gym airport idea. I shouldn't say that. You might want to censor that so someone doesn't steal it.
No, it's recorded now. It's our idea.
All right, that's true.
That's true.
It's our idea. We can prove it. We can timestamp it. We said it first.
Okay, so we're not going to go through a lot of current events because we talked a lot about other stuff.
I sent you so many this week.
I know, and I have a lot. We can keep a lot of these on here. I just want to talk about the ones that are important. Okay, the first one is Ilar Oman, who read World War XI.
Oh my god!
Yes,
that's
on par with Trump's one.
That's worse.
That's worse.
So much worse.
There's
worse
so
than
much.
Trump's.
There's just
2 Corinthians.
Such a train.
World War. I love the memes coming from. He's like we only got 2 weeks left, and I've got 8 more World Wars I got to cover now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that was so.
I saw somebody say, "Well, hopefully World War III doesn't happen because we're going to be looking at World War 111."
Gosh. Oh, that was hilarious.
Oh my
Time traveler. She got confused.
That was hilarious.
That's my biggest fear of being in the public eye is saying something dumb
like that.
And then everybody calls you out on it.
Because I think immediately after that, she saw what she did and she's like, oh, God, I'm so sorry.
My worst one ever, the only person that caught it was my wife. She was the only one that caught it. And it was during it. So when I was teaching music and it was a Mother's Day thing and I said Happy Mother's Day to all the moms and grandmas and aunts and uncles, and she caught uncles. And she gave me such a hard time about it, and nobody else caught it. But I felt awful about it. I watched it 5 times on the video, and I'm like, oh, I'm a moron.
Yeah.
That's my biggest fear, is saying something dumb, and then everybody makes memes and stuff out of it. But yeah.
I embrace the dumb. And so when people come to me and are like, yeah, you said this, I'm like,
I caught a Tannerism. Did you see that? I caught a Tannerism on last week.
Share it.
Share it. Do you remember what it was?
I sent it in the Discord.
Was it on the episode things?
Yes.
If you're not in the Discord, join the Discord.
Mm-hmm. Can I say a short one?
It's just right down the bottom.
So I found the headline, Goodbye to the T-Rex from Jurassic Park. A new study, by the way, this article title is the title is like half the length of the article. So anyways, goodbye to the T-Rex from Jurassic Park. A new study argues that it didn't run like a giant reptile, but with a gait much more similar to that of an ostrich.
What? Interesting. If you haven't listened to our dinosaur episode, you should go listen to it.
Yes, dinosaurs and dragons.
All right.
I'm going to tie dinosaurs to what we talk about later if we get there.
Oh, okay.
Everything ties together.
The tannerism.
Oh yeah, because you said something about he. I had it. Where did I lose it? He cooled. He cooled things over.
Cooled things over.
And it was like he cooled things down or he smoothed things over. But he said he cooled things over.
You just cool and smooth.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh, okay, I got to write that one down now.
Nobody has a tannerism like Tanner.
You just said tannerism?
Tannerism. It sounds like sounds like an aneurysm, but a tannerism.
That's why I have this migraine.
I got nothing.
I have a tannerism
I tried
every
to come
day.
up with something funny. I got nothing.
That's why I have this migraine. I have a tannerism every day.
Yep.
Wow. Now it's a negative word?
Yep.
Sheesh, that was fast. That's all right. I'll take it.
Is an aneurysm a good thing?
If it's
So
a
the
tannerism,
implication was already there. You made it.
That's fair. There was a crazy windstorm in Russia that actually killed 3 people.
Dang, from wind?
In an area that doesn't have wind. And people are like, where is all this wind coming from? And as a Nebraskan, I have the same sentiment. Where is all this wind coming from? Mm-hmm. We drove down to a conference. By the way,
it's been relatively calm this year compared to the last few years, though. The last few years have been ridiculous.
I don't know.
Not on I-80.
I would say
lost so many pieces of my house over the last few years of wind.
There's been more this year, but less. The intensity from a few years back was higher.
Yeah, way
but there's
more
been
intense.
way
That's
more
true.
often
That's
this
true.
year.
That's true.
We drove down to a conference, and that's why we had to record 2 episodes in 1 week. So I got officially ratified as the Western Executive Presbyter for the Nebraska.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. So it's a big deal, but it's one of those things that I've told people, I've tried to explain. It's like, I don't know how to explain that it's a big deal without it sounding like I'm bragging, but at the same time, it's not a big deal because my main goal and my main focus is still shattering Chi Alpha.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with bragging. I know we're taught that since we're little.
I know.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with bragging.
Well, but it's kind of more in the lines of like, because the thing that I'm focused on the most is still the ministry that I'm running here. Like that's 99.9% of my focus.
Yeah.
But it still is kind of a cool.
I mean, your oversight and your reach is expanding, though.
Yeah.
So, like, you are overseeing all the pastors and all the churches in we don't say denomination, we say fellowship.
Yeah.
For this third of the state.
Yeah.
You're going to be in executive level meetings, sometimes national level meetings. Like, it's a big deal.
It's pretty cool.
It's a big deal.
It's pretty cool.
I'll brag for you. So,
But
there we go.
We drove down there, and there was like 50-mile-an-hour winds the whole time.
Yeah.
We're there for 2 days.
Oh, it's 10 minutes before we get there.
Oh yeah, we get a golf ball hailstorm.
Hail.
We got to call our insurance agent still, because we took a little bit of damage, which I'm actually okay with. Then we're there, and it's windy the whole time we're there, and then we drive back, and then there's 50-mile-an-hour winds in a different direction, and so neither of them helped out our fuel mileage, and so we faced the wind going there, and then we faced it coming back.
The wind here has been crazy,
Why is it so windy? But this storm in Russia, literally killed 3 people, and they were saying that like
it's crazy.
Was it the wind or something in the wind?
It was the wind,
debris.
Like trees and like even like
because like hurricanes, it isn't the wind that kills you; it's what's in the wind,
that
gets you.
Right. But
that's crazy.
In a roundabout way, though, that it is the wind because the wind.
And we're so used to wind out here too. But
so
that kind of wind is nuts.
Is it the firearm or the human?
Don't.
I know, right? Okay, though.
Is it the wind or is it the tree in the wind?
When I was a tutor to like K through third graders in college, though, we had recess time, and the smaller kindergartner
getting tossed across.
He left the ground in the wind. Like awesome. Both of his feet left the ground, and I was like, "Oh, okay, let's get you beside the building." It was like I almost lost one of my kindergartners
when I was in high school and I was shooting on the Junior Olympic for like Junior Olympic stuff with rifles. Can I say that? Yeah. Too late. I already did.
It's out there.
We went to this camp in Ohio, and this like expert Olympian was there, and he was talking about, you know, shooting the high power stuff, and he's like, you know, you can adjust for the wind, but you got to be subtle, because I've never seen a wind that'll blow you outside of the 8 ring. And you know, if you know the targets have the rings with different scores, I've never seen a wind that'll blow you out of the 8 ring. And we like raised our hand, the Nebraska and Wyoming crew. We were like, I've seen ones that'll blow it clear off the target, off the paper. And he's like, that's not true. You guys are making that up. We're like, come to Nebraska. So he did. Like that next year, he came to Nebraska, and on a high wind day, and it was blowing everything completely off the paper. And I said, "See, told you." Like the wind is crazy, and it's gusts, so you can't adjust for it, because you'll shoot, and then the gust will hit, and it'll blow you clear off the paper.
And how do you anticipate that? You know,
no.
But you know,
but yeah.
Well, that's and even disc golf trying to anticipate. You watch the trees.
Oh man, trying to time it between gusts.
Yeah. Because the trees will begin as the direction that it's going. You kind of watch. But anyway, yeah,
you're good.
Trying to putt, and that gust picks up and throws it over your head.
Yeah. I've had that happen. I've thrown a disc into the wind, and it landed farther behind me than it would have gone forward.
And just before I came down, I swear I saw. Oh yeah, Commandy on the Discord. Did anyone see that Area 51 had 17 earthquakes in a single day?
Wow.
So I don't know if that's like a current event or if it's
off.
Or it's I mean, there's no context on whether or not that was a current event. I'm assuming it probably was, but yeah, I hadn't heard that yet. So I was going to bring that up and see if you guys had. Yeah. Keep going.
I have a Jim Karen update. Brief, very brief.
Oh, okay.
I've managed to notice.
It sounds like you're saying a dude named Jim.
Yep.
And then anyways.
The Jim Karen, I have noticed, has moved her lifting time to earlier. Oh. We keep catching her at the end of her lifts. So, turns out somebody feels dumb.
Crazy. I too have some gym. See, and you guys laughed at me when I said my gym rival was a woman and everything else. And
No. I laughed because I didn't laugh at you. I was laughing because Phil's nemesis is a woman are always too. Yeah. old women.
Ladies. Yeah.
Every one of Jim's.
I had one follow me around the other day, and every time I do a lift, she'd go and she'd replace the handles or whatever on it, and then do her lift. Like, would just follow me around. So I'd pick a different machine so she could have that machine, and she would follow me to the next machine. And I was like, what are we doing? Yeah, good times. I just laugh about it. So then I made a circuit out of it, and we just did the whole circuit. Yeah. Me and old Karen.
That is funny. I wanted to talk about all of the scientists going missing.
Oh, man, yeah.
So I'm putting it out there. Timing-wise, though, I think maybe we should wait till next week. But I want to put it out there. We are on it.
I want to say that
I've been doing research into
that ties into what we're going to talk about today. If we go to the direction I think we are,
no, it does, and that's why it
ties into what we're going to talk about, which is crazy.
And that's actually why I wanted to wait till next week to talk about it a little bit too. Because it does.
Because you know what you're going to talk about.
Because I know what I'm going to talk about next week.
Okay, I can.
Or at least I'm pretty sure. All right. So with that, does anybody else have any current events?
I mean, we've already knocked you off topic enough, I think, right?
All right, we got to do a summary. So if you haven't listened yet, you should.
Wrap it up, because, man, there's a lot.
You should go listen to Dulce episode number 1 and Dulce episode number 2, because this one, we're kind of going through.
I'm super excited you're saying it right now.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you a hard time because I was laughing because I was like, I don't think that's how you say that.
I went back to the audio sources that I did listen to.
Yeah.
And I would about half of them pronounce it Dulce. The other half pronounce it Dulce.
And then I saw one that was he pronounced it Dulce through the whole thing, and I'm like, oof, that's even worse.
There's a ton of different ways that they were pronouncing it. So
that's the thing about it being the United States is like Shadron is like French, and so there's just a lot of influences. So you never know where a term is.
And it drives me. It's one of my pet peeves when people talk about
I get it.
Dulce de leche and they say Dolce de leche. That bothers me. And I think that's why it caught me off guard. I was like, damn, I'm gonna have to listen to 2 episodes of you saying Dulce.
I'm gonna say it more now. I'm just only gonna say.
I invite it. Let's do this.
All right. So I will summarize. Now I gave you plenty of time to stop and go listen.
Yes.
If you're still listening, you're gonna have those episodes
that's on you.
Ruined for
that's
you. Okay.
You.
Start out in now the actually. Popcorn. So we're going decade through decade, basically trying to go in order of the way that things have come out about Dulce. Not necessarily the time in which they would have happened, but the time in which the public found out about Dulce.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to start out with, what we found was Manny Gomez. He was a rancher, and he came upon his mutilated cow. And we found through looking up cattle mutilations that there's thousands in that area and in southern Colorado. And then Gabe Valdez gets a phone call. He was the sheriff's deputy at the time in the area, and he begins to investigate. These cows don't look right. There's pictures of them on the internet you can find. He finds them. The blood's completely gone. They're missing a left ear, a tongue, their sex organs, and there will be a puncture on the chest. It's just weird circumstances every time. And then eventually lights begin to pop up, and Valdez begins to chase these lights. And at one point they corner one and they're firing at it, and they can't hit it. It just takes off, and it's almost like it's toying with Officer Valdez.
Yeah.
Fast forward, and in 150 miles south, there's a man named Paul Benowitz who is doing his own investigations of the Air Force base there. And so he's doing an investigation at Kirtland, and eventually Paul is speaking at a little mini convention, and Paul and Valdez meet up and they begin to talk, and then eventually Mr. Valdez and they begin to investigate further, trying to summarize what's important and what's not, because I think they eventually take it to the military, and the military basically, from what we uncovered in part 2, the military basically just kind of like plays with Paul and bring in a patsy named Bill. Bill would later come out and say that he strung Paul along, and we're left with, we don't know what was real and what wasn't. You know, we don't know, was the base real? We don't know, was what the government was trying to say to him real? Or the military guy, we don't know if he was a whistleblower or if he was actually purposely trying to like make him crack. There's forced mental institution things going on, and it just kind of leaves us sitting there going like, okay, what the heck just happened in Dulce, New Mexico? Is this real?
Yeah.
But one way or the other, we know the cattle mutilations are. Those are documented.
Yeah. Right.
We know for a fact those are real. They were documented by the law enforcement, by even like the government got involved in it and like had a special committee, a person who did nothing to actually investigate them and just came to the conclusion that it was natural.
Sounds
and so
like the government.
My biggest concern with that was, okay, if 8,000 cattle from southern Colorado naturally are dying like this, maybe we should investigate why all our cows are dying.
That's an epidemic.
Yeah. But they didn't create a new investigation.
That's what even the thing, like, so like people who raise cattle know how cattle die. They know what it looks like when it dies from certain different things, from different diseases, different things. This was different. And the numbers were crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, yeah.
All right. Then you have numerous people. And so where we're at now is we're still in the 90s, but I'm going to focus specifically on one person from the 90s. Okay? there's multiple people that came forward in the 90s.
Yeah.
We're focusing on one of them right now. And we got, and this is the longest of them. And Phil Schneider comes out in 1995. He begins to do this tour where he goes around and explains to people his experiences and what he claims is in building the Dulce Base.
Right. That he was one of the engineers that helped build it. Yeah. And was doing the experiments and things. Yep.
So I watched one of his full hour-long presentations.
Yeah, I watched his last one.
And I've gone through and I've looked at documents and stuff like that. Okay, this story is crazy. So we'll just start off, okay? Phil Schneider comes out in 1995. And in 1995, he's doing these series of interviews and conventions and anything UFO conspiracy. Like he's allowing himself to
making the circuit.
Yes, he's doing the circuit. Phil comes out and he claims that he was involved in building the Dulce Base. I can't even.
You're all right,
bro.
man.
Dulce Base. Dulce. And the way that he built it, he even explains that they would drill 4 large holes. They drilled them down 2.5 miles. And then they would then connect and basically drill back and forth through the holes to get down to begin excavating and taking everything out.
Yep, just gut
Yeah. So I looked it up. I was like, 2.5 miles seems...
How it's done? That's a lot.
Well, I was 2.5 miles seems like a lot. It's not that much, actually, and that's actually very reasonable. The furthest we've dug is like 7 miles in Russia.
Oh, my Lord.
They dug out a pit 7.5 miles down. That's the one where once they got down 7.5 miles, the ground acted more like a plastic than rock.
Yeah.
And so it began hard because their tools began breaking down.
And didn't he explain that he invented...
And then USSR fell, and then
that
it
just
never...
reminds me of that one scene in Stranger Things.
Right.
Everything starts melting. Anyways.
Yeah. Didn't he say, and in the interview I watched, he said that he helped invent a laser device that what it did instead of removing the rock is that it melted it.
It melted it down.
Melted the rock and turned it into the walls that they would use.
Whoa.
And so it would melt and it would turn into like this, like onyx, kind of hard wall in there instead of having to excavate everything. Yeah, it would melt the rock with this laser that they invented and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Stuff like that. So and then once again, just I've mentioned it before, but seeing videos of like salt mines and just how they carve everything out and everything is just nuts. But I didn't know that we could go that far down.
Yeah. So then they'd build the deals going back and forth, and then they would bring out all the stuff. So he said while they were working on the Dulce Base, they hit the bottom and their equipment started coming up broken. And at one point they had hit something and some like black sooty smoke came out. And so they're like, okay, our equipment keeps coming up broken. Yeah. We need to go down and investigate it. So he mentions at this point that at their camp, their geology camp where they're building this base, he's like, I began to get concerned by the fact that there were Green Beret and Black Beret and like Secret Service agents who were just at the camp. And he's like, that's weird. And then they decide they're going to go down, and the Green Beret and the Black Beret are like, okay, we've got to escort you down.
Yeah.
And so then they begin going down, and 66 of them go down, and they find that they penetrated into something. And standing like 15 yards in front of him is, how he explained, a gray alien.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
And he said the first thing, now here's the key. He said, and this is coming from a guy who had a very different worldview than we do. He said, the first thing that I noticed wasn't the alien, it was the stench.
Yeah.
He said it smelled like hot garbage, just stank. It was the stinkiest thing that he'd ever smelled.
Yeah.
I think that's significant.
I'm glad you brought up aliens. So real quick side tab on this. That area, when you look at Native American lore in that area, the Apache and thing that lived there,
No.
That area, they have documentation saying that like dogs won't even go to this area.
Oh.
Dogs won't go to the area. Horses will stop and they will refuse to go any closer to this area. It's a very one of those kind of areas.
Yeah. We've talked about that before. What was
we
that?
We mentioned it during
forest, that dead spot?
Just like that.
We're like, it's just
Courtney, do you know what year the term extraterrestrial was first introduced in America? Take a guess.
I'm betting in the 1880s.
Yeah, mid 1880s.
Oh my gosh!
Is when the extraterrestrial. Before that, you know what they were called?
What?
Demons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got more too.
Add
but
that to the 1880s list. We need to do a whole episode.
I got one more that adds the 1880s, but I'm waiting for it to pop up.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't know what to do with that right now.
I know.
Or do you want me to? You know what? I can go ahead because we talked about dude ended up in an insane asylum, right?
Well, but that'll come up.
Okay.
That'll come up later.
When we get to the insane asylums, I got something.
I've got that on my notes.
Talk about drilling down, going down deep, and then you see standing in front of you. I was like, Balrog.
I say, for real though, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, I mean, did you listen to part 1, part 2?
Yes.
So the way that I documented this one is a little different than I normally do episodes, and I kind of I want to go in order,
right? And that's why I'm waiting to see where we go because I've got things to add too. But I'll just throw in my tabs as they come up because I know you're going to cover them. So yeah,
exactly. All right. So Phil says that he gets to this thing, and this thing was like 7 foot, 8 foot tall, significant.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And we'll kind of come back to that for a second. So he said that he didn't have a big gun, that he just carried a sidearm with him because it was difficult with like all of the stuff they have to wear. Yeah. And
I mean, what would they even let you have there? You know?
Right. And so he begins.
Well, you don't know there's gases and things down there.
That's true.
So they panic. He begins shooting the everybody around starts shooting. He says that they took out 2 of the aliens.
Two.
He said
How
they
many
took
were
out
there?
2.
There was multiple. It was a battle. Like this was a firefight kind of thing.
Yeah. So he took out 2. The others took out more or something like that. Yeah.
It was a full-blown underground battle.
And he said, I was struck. He said that there was a blue light that the alien just kind of like gestured, and a blue light of electricity comes out, hits him, cuts off, literally melts off 3 of his fingers.
What?
And he says it melted his toenails off. So on his feet, he has 1 foot that's like scorched.
He showed scars.
So he doesn't. He doesn't have.
This wasn't like
doesn't have. He holds up his hand and he's missing half of his hand.
Yeah.
And he claims that gave him cancer because it was shortly after this he begins a lifelong battle with cancer.
Yeah.
And it's decimated. This cancer is it decimated him health wise.
Oh my goodness.
And so his health from that point forward, he very quickly goes into retirement after this because this is what he claimed.
Oh my gosh.
So he said the only reason he survived is because a Green Beret grabbed him, threw him in the basket, hit the button for him to go up, and everybody else passed away.
He's the only one that made it out alive.
Because this Green Beret sent him up.
No one was expecting it.
And he claims the government was expecting it, and the reason he's mad and in touring now, and at this point in time, touring was because he knew that the government had to have known, because why would they have had the Green Beret and the Black Beret and all these other agents there?
I've never heard of a Black Beret before.
I had never heard of. I don't even know if
is it like real thing? More Black Ops Green
Beret. He kept saying Black Beret, but I don't. Maybe I don't.
Yeah, because even the helicopters and stuff he describes are there's no markings on them at all. They're just black helicopters, no lights, no nothing.
So maybe they're like black ops, Black Ops officers or something. Maybe. Yeah. So here's the thing. While he's doing these tours, he came to them with documents, pictures, objects, all kinds of stuff. So he has samples from the metal and stuff like that. So I'm kind of going in order of his presentation at this point.
Yeah.
So.
And a lot of his objects didn't some different organizations came to examine the objects, and then all of a sudden those objects were gone according to him. And
no, I
don't remember. I remember there's some stuff missing.
Yes,
we talked about that.
So that comes up.
I just now noticed that you have your phone in front of you like that.
Yeah, it's not on right now.
Oh, okay.
But
Sorry.
I'm going to start. I'm starting to get my little space set up better so that I can.
You came.
Yeah.
I can't wait to invade that space and
we're hitting summer mode.
Invade.
Summer mode. Like I have just a little more time to dedicate to the podcast, and so like
there you go.
I'm in summer mode. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right.
Good.
Speaking, like
I'm in story mode. I want to hear more.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So, and that is kind of his telling of the Dulce Base.
Yeah.
That's his telling of it, okay? So now some background information to Phil. So Phil claims that 11 of his best friends who were also involved in these black ops operations and stuff like that.
The other engineers who were his friends, scientists and things that worked with him.
11 of them died mysteriously. All of them claimed were accidents or self-unalivings. And he said none of them were like that. Like all of them were very well respected, high end.
Yep.
So kind of going back to now, all of a sudden we have all of these scientists.
Yeah, these
missing.
modern scientists that are disappearing. And
this isn't the first time it's happened. It happened back in the 90s, in 95, 96.
Oh, I'm sure.
How did Phil die? Tell us how Phil died.
We'll get to that. So,
I'm so excited.
In 1993, Phil's best friend named Ron Rummel. He was from Oregon.
Oregano.
He died from a gun wound to the head. And when they investigated, they found a gun somewhat near him and then just ruled it a self-unaliving.
Oh my gosh.
Of course.
No real investigation took place. This guy was an Air Force officer, a Silver Star recipient, and it was just ruled a suicide or self-unaliving and moved on. Ron was known for publishing the Alien Digest magazine, and he was getting ready to publish a book about the government cover-up with aliens. Everyone close to Ron claims that he was murdered.
Yeah.
Everybody close to him. I mean, it wasn't somebody who had like stalled out. Like he's like just getting ready. Like
he's just taking off.
Just getting ready to do this
frustrating
stuff.
about that is now the government's coming out with all of that and they're being above board with all that. Like, oh, aliens and stuff. And so it's like people like that. And then they ended up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Phil, while he's presenting, straight up is telling people like, hey, I'm scared for my life. In fact, I got in a gunfight with an FBI officer. He shot me.
Oh my God.
Here's the scar.
Yeah.
It's a bullet wound scar. And I took out the FBI agent.
Yep.
And when I went to when I like went and like confessed, they were like, oh, things happen. And he was like, I don't know what that means. So, but he would show like literally his scar.
Yeah.
So he has it. So at some point he was shot.
And then they were just like,
whether or not whether his story was true or not.
He turned himself in, and then they were like, you're fine.
Yeah, these things happen.
Free to go. That would terrify me to hear that.
And it never hit any news stories. There's no story about an FBI agent getting taken out
in the line of duty.
Because those black op things, they don't let you know who dies.
They ain't gonna tell you.
Yeah, no. I would instantly go like, they're not done with me.
That's what he did. Back. So while he's so I'm watching him speak, and that's basically what he's saying. He's like, I have to drive an hour home. I'm afraid for my life. They've attempted to run me off the road.
Right.
Like,
oh, jeez.
He's like, I'm constantly afraid for my life. So he's saying this.
Like just saying the things like when we jokingly say things like, I'm mentally healthy and I am not thinking about, and he was saying this live on his presentations.
And he's showing his scars and stuff. He's showing documentation. Okay.
I've done that. And then they've.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gone.
So then. January of 95 was when he did his biggest tour.
Yeah.
Sharing about stuff. Basically 1 year of sharing all this stuff.
It was late that year, like October or something. October, November was when he finished up.
Yeah. And so then in January of 1996, Phil is found unalived.
Oh my God.
The very first police report and autopsy listed the cause of death as unknown natural causes. I saw pictures of this dude.
Yeah.
There's no way. Okay, so anyway, I'll continue. So he's found by his bed with his face in the seat of his wheelchair. He's wheelchair bound. Missing half of a hand. Okay, keep this in mind.
Yep.
Okay, he had riddled with cancer, very weak. Not like that. Just that's who we have. So his body's whisked away to a funeral home, and then at the funeral home, the person who's getting ready to like embalm him is looking at him and goes, "Hey guys, there's a catheter tightly wrapped around his neck. You might want to come and look at this."
It was wrapped so tight they didn't you didn't see it at first. It was like the
right
skin was folded over it. Yeah.
So in the original investigation, it was reported that there was a catheter near where he was found. So
so the catheter tube was not with the
So a detective begins to investigate this. One detective takes it seriously. He begins to call everybody who's involved in the first report, trying to figure out what happened, where's the toxicology stuff, where's all this stuff. Nobody would respond, and everybody refused to respond to this detective. So he goes and finds the initial reporting officer, and the initial officer, that's where we finally find that the catheter was near him when he was found. So there's a bunch of medications found at the scene, but the autopsy claimed that his stomach was empty. Okay. Mm-hmm. Also, keep in mind that the catheter wasn't found during the autopsy. It was found after that.
That's
once he was at the funeral.
That's why I'm like, how do you miss that? And
Oof.
So they send blood off and other toxicology stuff to be tested, all of which goes missing.
Yep.
oh my God.
There's no report of what his blood showed. Nothing. Just goes missing. So then a new autopsy is finally requested by that detective who is taking it seriously. It was then listed by that new autopsy to be listed as a suicide, self-unaliving by asphyxiation.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They're claiming that he tied this himself.
Yeah. And in the current reports, if you look him up, that's what the official report is still on this, that it was a self-unaliving. Crazy.
Whether or not this guy was legit,
is that
his death
regardless
is bull crap.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dude was unalived.
It's crazy.
By catheter.
I know.
Yeah.
And just
How terrible.
months after he was doing this tour and whistleblowing
and straight up saying at this thing, like straight up, it's like the document of these scientists coming out and saying like, I'm not the government is after me, guys. Like this isn't me. And like almost like warning, like if you hear that like something happens to me, it was them. And then something happens to him and we're like, oh, it was just self-unaliving. He did this himself.
Crazy.
But
That's
there's
the road
one
that they
more.
Go down. They start talking like that.
There's more.
Wait, there's more. There's war. There's more.
There's war.
There's more.
Oh yeah, there's always more.
An obituary shows up in the newspaper that was not sent in by his family. In this obituary, it is claimed that he died by a stroke, and no proof of who sent in this obituary exists.
Then
someone anonymously sent in an obituary.
Yeah.
And we know how you have to do that now because we've had to do that for
and the fact that the paper printed it tells me that somebody at the paper was threatened.
Yes.
Because it's a process. You don't just send they check and you can't just put an obituary in for anybody. Like
So
crazy.
What's the term for post death, post
Postmortem.
His ex-wife, so someone who had divorced him, comes out with documents. Mm-hmm. She comes out proving all this stuff with her ex is legitimate. Mm. So she comes out and she proves that he worked for the companies that he was claiming he worked for. Mm-hmm. However, his name was correct on this proof, but his social security was different on every single one of these documents that he worked for these companies that Phil claimed was a black ops operation.
Right.
His social security number would be wrong on those companies only. And it was different. And so in those documents, he had a wrong, quote unquote, wrong social security number. She claims that Phil told her that it was known at that time that incorrect social security numbers was how the black projects worked. That way you can't prove your work history with them.
You're not.
Right.
Because your social security number was wrong. Even if your name is on it, it had to have been someone else because your social security number was wrong. She came out with the document. She, like, you can see, like, I looked up and we can see these documents.
Right. Yeah. They exist.
He worked for Morrison Knudsen and Trojan Nuclear. And then by the 80s, he was on Social Security from getting cancer. One way or the other, he had cancer. He then quit working in the 80s and was on Social Security. She said that when they were together, he was heavily medicated to the point where he couldn't even remember his past.
Right.
And then one day, he decides there's something weird about this, stops taking his medicine, and that's when he begins to remember.
Right.
So he starts to remember his past, and then, so his ex-wife saw all these documents, and she defends him, even though at that time of his death, she had divorced him. So it's like,
she's a real one.
This is someone who's independent. Yes. Like at this point, she said that Phil and his best friend Ron, who was also self-unalived by proxy. Yeah. I don't know, what do you call that? Yeah. That they were discussing everything at that point in time. And then Phil's dad passes away. Did you learn anything about Phil's dad?
No.
Yes. Okay, this is where this thing goes crazy, okay? So Phil's dad passes away the same year as Ron passed away, okay? And, sorry.
I'm doing it on purpose.
I know, and it's making me...
I'm sorry.
So...
This is like, for me, this is like, I've seen the movie, I know where it goes, and then there's a bonus ending that I didn't stick around for.
Yes.
How long have we been
super
recording?
excited now.
Oh, we're golden. Okay. So, we'll step back a pace.
And I'll give you some bonus content when we're all done with this part. Okay.
So, his ex-wife saw all the documents and straight up defended his stories. She said that Ron is documented to have an IQ of 161. He, in his sleep, would speak different languages.
Oh my gosh.
And when he would wake up, when he was on his medicine, he'd wake up and he couldn't speak those languages. So that's a little weird, right?
It is weird.
That's weird in maybe a couple different ways.
Yeah.
That could be a couple different ways of weird.
Yeah.
Either he did speak those languages and the medicine was preventing him from even remembering how to speak it.
Stopping it.
Or there is maybe something a little demonological going on there.
Yeah.
A little interdimensional.
All right. Now is a good point for you to talk about.
Okay. So I was looking at this thing, and when I saw our guy from previous episodes, remind me his name, that ended up in the insane asylum.
Paul?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So this fella, he ends up in the insane asylum, right? So I started looking into insane asylums because I'm curious about this thing.
Yeah.
In the United States, for a time, there were only about 20 institutions up until the mid 1880s, when that number quintupled to 100 facilities And
they begin inventing words.
There's a theory out there. This isn't my theory, but there's a theory out there that the reason they were establishing all of these insane asylums is anybody who was fighting against these name changes and this change in history and all these things we've talked about, anybody who was fighting that or had any knowledge of any government organization stuff, they stuck them in the insane asylums and changed their names and social security numbers.
Wild.
And when they were in there, they would say, "Hey, John Smith," and he goes, "That's not my name.
Oh,
this is my name." And they'd say, "No, you're insane. Take your meds." Right?
The 1880s were wild.
So 1880s. So for over 100 years, they stuck people. Theory wise, the government would stick people who were whistleblowers, people who were out there. They would stick them in these asylums under different names and different security numbers, social security numbers, so that they would seem crazy, and they would medicate them, and they would keep them basically in prison medication wise.
Yeah.
Right?
It's basically what...
Do you know when the last one of these closed down?
When?
2010. That's how long these things existed. And you know what? They didn't close down. What they did is they turned into outpatient facilities where they would give them their meds to take at home. And they would come and check on them. So they're still... according to this theory, still medicating these people and still have them convinced that they're schizophrenic, have them convinced that they have identity issues, and they're taking meds to suppress memories and things like that, according to this theory. So this kind of fits into when you talked about his dad, or talked about the languages and taking the meds. And when he stopped taking the meds, that's when he started remembering everything. Yes. I'm like,
I feel like that's a trope that I've seen play out on so many different TV shows.
And then when you remember too much, then they say, "Oh,
then all of a sudden,
you're now no longer taking your meds like we told you to.
We told you to take the meds, and you're not doing it.
You're not doing it.
Sorry."
So much.
I know that gives me chills thinking about that when we started talking about that and when I discovered all of that. But I'm like, why is the 1880s such a weird,
right?
When all this stuff shifted? Why is the huge shift in that year? It just keeps coming up.
Keeps coming up.
It's so wild.
That could be at least a catalyst.
Yeah.
We've got to dig to figure out like what.
Yeah. What And even if we can, did they change it so much that whatever was going on doesn't exist anymore?
Maybe it's Tartaria.
You know, maybe
it's, I don't know. Who knows?
That's why I asked, like, was there a World's Fair that was going on that year or something? Like what was it?
So the 1880s happened, and then
we redefine things, we rename things.
Within 30 years, there's a world war.
Yeah.
Within another 20 years, there's another world war.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But the insane asylum threw me off because I'm like, imagine you're just sitting there minding your business. You get arrested. You wake up in this facility, them telling you that you have a different name and a different identity. And you're like, no, I'm this person. Yeah. And the more you fight it, the more they medicate you.
Yeah.
Because you're crazy. Right? How easy would that be to remove somebody from society doing that? That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Anyway.
But then keeping them alive in case you need them again.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And not just taking them all out, because then that's what...
Because you do that to too many people, it starts to look suspicious.
That's what the Nazis
did.
And
you keep people aware of that's what happens to you if you speak up. I mean...
Yep. Speaking of crazy... So the Nazguls, the Nazis, they really believed that there was a society underground of possible aliens living underground. They actually believed in this. Yeah. They believed in it so much, they spent a lot of resources, time, and money trying to find these underground civilizations.
And that was a big belief for a lot of societies.
They believed that these underground facilities were connected by train. Phil Schneider also claimed that these underground aliens were connected by Mach 2 bullet trains. People mocked him at the time, pun intended, and then 20 years later, Japan comes out with a bullet train that goes Mach 2.
Yeah.
So it's possible. You know, a lot of stuff that he claimed, a lot of stuff that he claimed existed already were invented within 20 years of him claiming it.
Yeah. Well, and even there was some talk about, and he even said they're reverse engineering some of the stuff that, to try to bring up to us, now that we've made contracts. At one point, he even said that with the organizations he worked with, they made contracts with these aliens.
Yeah.
Created contracts with them. And he said, and you're going to like this, maybe you heard him say it, but he goes, so these contracts were ridiculous and worthless because aliens lie. They're huge liars. They're bigger liars than humans. And I was like, sounds a little like demons. That they like to, they just lie.
Weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of funny that we're making contracts with these aliens.
Can I ask real quick? Yeah. Because the physical appearance were grays, and we haven't really done a whole episode on grays, have we?
Not yet.
Not
a lot of origin stories of like where the grays have dwelled, and they've always been among us, blah, blah, blah. Are they tied to like they live underground, or is this just specific to this story?
The Greys is something that has been around for a few different, different things. Yeah. Like,
so is this does it correlate to any other accounts? Is what I'm saying of just like them.
So in 1909, I came across this too. In 1909, the U.S. Cavalry went to the Dulce. Now you got to say Dulce.
Look at you, buddy. I'm proud. I'm proud of you.
Messed with me. You get it in my brain.
Dulce is easier to say.
It is. It's weird. Okay. And I think it's because they got the leche in there, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, Dulce. So they were in this area, and they documented that that they ran into some locals there, and the locals were telling them stories about these demons that flew in horseshoe vehicles and things like that around that whole area too. Clear back in like the early 1900s, this was documented with the U.S. military.
Goodness,
Okay. So yeah.
So
yeah, crazy.
Okay. All right. But speaking of past,
this thing goes all over the place.
The Nazis, they got their belief from the Tibetan monks.
Okay.
And the Tibetans believed that these were organizations underground, and that was where the obsession really started to come forth, was because these So the organization within the Third Reich was the TODT organization. There's actual documents about this organization that exist.
Yeah.
So the Dorch, the founder of this organization, the Todt organization, he was an Operation Paperclip request that our government put in even before the Nuremberg trials. Our government really wanted this guy who was in charge of the Todt organization within the Russian or within the German ranks.
That's crazy that we were already eyeballing who we wanted. That's crazy.
And our government specifically requested him. Okay. So Phil is going through, so his dad passes away, and he's going through his dad's documents. He finds documents about the Todt organization, because at this point in time, I believe Operation Paperclip wasn't known. I'm not 100% sure. Let me look that up real quick. Oh, I guess it had been known. It was declassified in the 80s. So I was wrong. Anyway, ignore that. But he finds these documents about our government specifically requesting Dorch, the founder of the organization that does this stuff. Okay. So Phil picks up these documents when his father passed away, and all of these documents it's a part of a giant collection of documents.
Okay.
And this collection of documents backs up all of Phil's stories. He takes these documents with him when he was touring and speaking. So we have video proof of these documents existing because they would show up on camera.
Yeah.
And be on display so people could walk up and check it out. These were pictures of UFOs. These were pictures of supposed aliens among them. It's just kind of crazy. So it's found out that his dad, his name is Oscar Schneider.
Okay.
What does Schneider sound like?
It sounds a little German.
Sounds a little bit German, right?
Yeah.
So his dad, he finds out his dad was also working on, or proof at least, that his dad was working on black projects in the 50s. Mm-hmm. One of those documents, the Philadelphia experiment.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Gosh. Why is everything tied together? Like, we could make one string to connect everything we've talked about. Like, we eventually get around to how it all connects to everything we've talked about. So crazy.
So
crazy.
He finds out through these documents that Oscar Schneider, his dad, was a U-boat captain in the Nazis' Navy.
Oh my gosh.
Of course he was.
He was captured by the French, handed over to the U.S. Navy. He was a master machinist and a medical doctor, and he would eventually go on to join the U.S. military in the Navy, and he helped build the U.S. Nautilus, and he was the lead build of the U.S. Enterprise. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
U.S. Enterprise was the first nuclear-powered aircraft carrier.
Yep.
Interesting, right?
What?
He brought an image of his dad with other notable scientists who worked on the atomic bomb and notable people who were experimenting with time experiments at the time.
Yeah.
This picture had a alien in it.
What?
Now, keep in mind, this is before AI is a thing. Like, this is...
So wait. There's a significant point here. There's a significant point. Just hold on. Just wait for your reaction. Hold it, curb it, hold it in. This alien has 6 fingers and 6 toes on each hand. Mm-hmm. And is very tall.
He said he had toes on his hand.
Oh, 6 fingers on his hand and 6 toes.
Maybe
I know what you meant.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Get it. Anyway.
6 fingers and 6 toes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my Lord.
He brought these with him when he traveled. So people saw these documents.
Yeah, and again, these weren't like digital pictures. These weren't like, these were pictures. Like,
yeah.
And I mean, you can hoax things, but
95. Yeah, you could
hoax things. You could do some stuff. You could do some Photoshopping-ish, like early Photoshop stuff.
Yeah, but it would have. But yeah, the quality even back then, you would have like 95.
Yeah.
How much stuff on a computer?
I mean,
photography stuff.
I'm trying to think. 95. I was a freshman in college, and we had to go to a computer lab to use a computer that the internet, as far as the internet went, was basically just it was texting.
Yeah.
That was the entire internet, was being able to just text back and forth to each other's computers, you know?
Yeah.
So there wasn't a whole lot going on tech wise in the world anyway.
Yeah. So he brought these documents, and one of them talked about the Philadelphia experiment, as I already mentioned. And in a letter that his dad wrote, that was about an autopsy from the Philadelphia experiment. And in this autopsy, once they got the people back from the thing, because the Philadelphia experiment, if you're not familiar, it is where the entire ship, quote unquote, disappeared into the future and then came back. And we haven't really talked about it because it seems, anyway. Yeah. But anyway, in this letter, his dad was saying that during the autopsy of one of the people who passed, that they were finding little transistors from behind their eyes and other like hidden body parts, like what we would now refer to as like tracking devices. Mm-hmm. But back then, in the letter, his dad just described them as little transistors from all over in their body. So he also has a letter from J. Edgar Hoover that is requesting all of the crew of the Philadelphia experiment to undergo psych evaluations. There was a third letter, was written to Edward Condon. Edward Condon is a known, I don't know what you would call it, a known UFO denier, known alien denier, so to say. Debunker of UFO stuff. Yes. He was very widely known. So this is a letter to him. And in this letter, it is reported to Edward that 7 of the men from the Philadelphia experiment that were undergoing psych care had escaped from their psychiatric facility. It then references Tesla's. Tesla's spatial analyzer, and then it mentions that Hoover was designating the Philadelphia experiment a 1A prime directive, above secured. Another document designates it above secured and calls stuff with the aliens Project Blue Sky.
That's one of the pictures.
Oh, okay. You're showing a picture.
Yeah, I'm just showing her some of the pictures.
Okay.
So, these are documents that Phil Schneider begins to find after his dad passes and is a part of his tour that he is talking about when he begins to tour. So, we have this. We know the name Bob Lazar, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Bob Lazar is a pretty common name in the UAP area. Bob Lazar, and I don't mean anything to take away from Bob Lazar in any way, shape, or form, but Bob Lazar doesn't come with documents proving his employment history and all of these things. Like, he doesn't. His is just a story that he experienced, and he tells it that way. Phil not only comes with his work history documented from his ex-wife post-mortem. I want to keep saying post-hummus. Post-hummus. What does that sound?
It's posthumous.
Humus. Yeah. Okay.
Post-hummus is after you have a little snack.
Yeah, I'm tasting. But also, Phil came with documents that were talking about his family's employment history.
Right.
He came with these documents. He also, and in the last part of his thing, it's just like he's just throwing everything out there. He's like, here's all the information. I'm trying to get it all out, and then he'd be done.
And honestly, he knew he was. I mean, he was sick, and he was towards the end of his life, and he knew. I mean, he had to know that if I give these documents to someone or I write a book and they're going to disappear. But if I take them with me and there is video documentation of me showing these 2 people, there's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah. And here's something else that I'm going to just kind of wrap it up with this of in now post, again, his name is changed for the sake of the algorithm. Post Jeffrey Einstein lists coming out seemed wild and crazy. But now, all of a sudden, I'm listening to this guy going, wait a second. So he claims that AIDS and other diseases were caused from these quote-unquote aliens, of them, like, experimenting with their stuff or whatever. But that we basically, like, AIDS was made in a lab and then let go. He claimed that aliens get high off of our adrenochrome.
Oh my gosh, no way.
So then he immediately goes into talking about how...
So they're smoking humans?
So then he goes in and immediately begins to talk about how there are hundreds of thousands of missing and untraceable kids.
Yep.
No way.
And he claims that they were being eaten.
Oh my gosh.
Now we have these Jeffrey Einstein emails that are claiming the same things.
Yeah. Well, even going back to kids disappearing,
I feel
in released CIA stuff back in the day. Like,
yeah.
Yep.
So,
and stories of cultures who sacrifice their kids to, to appease whatever the
creatures,
whatever they were, across the world.
And so here's 2 more.
All from cattle mutilation.
2 more weird things. And again, we still have like 5 more people to talk about, but they have a lot less.
Yeah.
They'll be able to be talked about in one episode. We will have a 4th episode, people.
This guy definitely needed his own episode.
Yes, he did.
I am reeling right now.
So here's a couple more weird things that just I noticed this morning. So in his speeches, it was like people that listen to his speeches and stuff like that, he claimed to and had pictures of him with children. There's zero information about his kids anywhere. You cannot find it. However, there is an actor named Phil Schneider who, when you even Google Phil Schneider, Google changes your request to Philip Schneider and wants to tell you everything about the actor. And so Phil Schneider is now, you have to like specifically type in like Phil Schneider UFO.
Yeah.
In order to pull up the information.
Phil Schneider
or Dulce.
Dulce Base.
If you just search for Phil Schneider, it comes up with the actor. Which is not his actual name.
Which we've looked at things like, when, Disney naming things so that when you do a Google search, something else pops up, and looking at different things that'll come up just so it throws your Google algorithm off.
And the one last thing that he would talk at length about was the budget. And he claimed that there were trillions of dollars being funneled into these black budget programs, and that they were essentially untraceable. And now we come to the future now, and we have all of these audits of the Pentagon where trillions of dollars just don't exist.
Yeah. Well, there's a theory.
And this is all post after he was unalived, and it's in the post his death. Everything that keeps coming out keeps kind of confirming the things he was saying, which is wild because watching the tape, it is so hard not to think this is just a crazy guy. But in retrospect of the stuff coming out in the last couple of years, it's like, no, that stuff exists today. We talk about it like it's normal now. And back then he was just the crazy guy because he was talking about all this stuff.
Well, and regardless of how you feel about our recent trip to the moon.
Ouch.
There's theories that is because of that audit. They have to show this money. They still need that money filtering in. So we create a trip to the moon that trillions of dollars need to go into. That needs to go into this project so we can go to the moon. So we use AI to create this trip to the moon. And then we just filter that money into these black projects instead. And nobody can trace it because it got spent.
Well, and here's the thing.
That's a theory. I don't know.
I mean,
it's crazy.
Here's the thing.
All crazy.
Here's the thing. There is a correlation, okay? We have the Operation Paperclip people showing up. And who founded NASA? An Operation Paperclip person. It's just a theory. But,
just for fun.
But one way or the other, and again, to what we know for sure, whether or not we went to drove around the moon,
right,
or not, one thing we know for sure is they edited those videos and put them out there like it was fact. Like when the 4 astronauts came out and everybody was celebrating, that's just fake because on their phones there's nothing there. They're like on one of the phones they're watching like a TV show.
Whoever's doing their video editing over there at NASA and all that stuff needs to step up their game a little bit because they're getting caught. Or people are just getting better at catching those things too. Maybe they've always been like that.
But like if you're actually doing like why fake
that?
I don't know.
Yeah, why fake that?
If you're going around if you're doing a drive-by of the moon, like just let it be what it was.
Let it be grainy.
It's good. That's cool.
Yeah.
Faking the content just diminishes what you did do. Or you didn't do it, and you're trying to prove to us that you did. One or the other. Either way, how stupid. I mean, at best, it's terrible. At worst, it is horrific.
I'm just reminded again with that stuff of the season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and where they trace NASA basically back to Hydra and just how the graphics and the logos changed, and then they show the background of all the big influential people sitting at the table and then drawing the stones out and then who was basically going to be sacrificed to the monolith and go to the planet where the Hydra alien was and just...
Yeah. I know, it's crazy.
There's that sort of stuff has been in entertainment
and
for a long time.
The more we dig and the more we pull the stuff up...
been there.
there's so much of it that exists in TV shows and movies that people have already put out there. It makes you wonder, did people know stuff and they made movies, or are the movies being made so that when somebody remembers it,
be like, oh, no.
Somebody remembers it like, no, that was a movie. That was a movie.
Fictional.
That was Soylent Green. You don't know what you're talking
when they
about.
go,
that was a movie.
They get institutionalized is because they saw it on a movie.
Yeah. Oh, you saw it in a movie and you thought it was real because of your mental health issues.
Because you're having a mental health crisis.
Oof. Listen, if I end up in a facility or on some medication for psychotropic, whatever, just know that I am fine.
I'm okay. I think the wildest...
Oh my gosh. It's crazy to think about.
Right. The wildest thought
like nobody would doubt it. Nobody would fight that and doubt that you've lost your marbles.
Mm-hmm. Well, and
it's so perfect. I mean, it really is. When you really think about it, let's write a book about it.
My thought process kind of goes to
make it fake, so people don't think that we're trying to say it's real.
But on the other side of things, what if this is just a giant long con of the demons?
Yeah,
putting out this information.
Yeah.
Allowing it to be out there just enough, allow it to be mysterious just enough, so that people start believing in aliens. Mm-hmm. Because that was one of the things that the Nazguls, the Third Reich people, came over and were like, oh, you don't use aliens as propaganda? You got to do that, like right away.
Yeah.
And so what if all of this is just propaganda in order to push things towards the ultimate Blue Beam project?
Well, and think about that. People making peace treaties with aliens feels a lot more comfortable than making peace treaties with demons. If you really think about it.
Yep.
It's a lot easier to swallow.
Okay. And everything about it, at no point am I going, wow, that sounds like aliens. The entire time I'm sitting there listening to him going, buddy, this is demonic.
When he brought up the lying thing, I was like, oh, that sounds like... And at one point he even said, he goes, we call them aliens, but I mean... that they called them demons for
he did
for hundreds of years. They called them demons. We refer to them as aliens now. He said that in his interview,
and it's like
this guy.
We're enlightened.
But he's literally approaching it from the opposite side of us in that he's thinking we just call them demons because that's what they've always called them, but really they're aliens, and we're approaching it going, bro, these are demons.
Yeah.
How can you not see that these are demons?
Yeah.
And so it's two sides of the same coin, seeing the same thing from two different ways. And unfortunately, in my opinion, part of the big distraction that's going to lead to a new world order could be all of the people who believe in aliens freaking out about the fact that we're at war with aliens, when in reality, it's a fake demonic war.
Well, and the idea of like demons have been built up to be this spiritual imaginary in the shadows. Oh, it's just a shadow. It's just a sound. It's just a noise. This makes them real and tangible, and they are actually can touch you. That's scary. Yeah. That's scary for most people. They don't want to deal with that.
Right.
That idea. So aliens is a little easier, which is crazy.
That aliens can interact with.
Touching an alien or being abducted by an alien is more acceptable than being touched or abducted by a demon.
Right.
And that the idea of we always think of demons as spiritual, floating around. Like why couldn't they have spaceships and tech?
I mean, why wouldn't they have tech? Yeah. Why wouldn't they be doing contracts with the humans in order to give us? Because they have the best science. Because they have like perfect science.
Yeah.
Why would they
they've
not
been around for so long? Like part of the reason humans advanced faster than other species of animals is because we can pass on our knowledge because we're around longer.
And they don't have to pass it on. No, they have perfect memory.
Keep it. Yeah,
and they just know it. Yeah. Why would they not have better technology that they could bargain with? But anyway, so
man,
that brings us
that was a deep, deep rabbit hole.
Where's
1996.
Oh no.
We've made it from the 70s to the 80s, and now we're in the 90s.
All because some ranchers found some cows.
Oh, let me tell you what, this thing picks up steam.
Man.
And next episode is going to be more current stuff. And there's enough.
It's just insane that it doesn't matter what we talk about. We could talk about a pizza place in South Dakota, and somehow we would end up some kind of string tie into something
crazy.
that we've done. It's so nuts.
It is crazy.
It is so crazy how we've just accidentally stumbled on so many of these things that seemingly have connections. Yes. I don't know if there's real connections there. Maybe it's just the environment that we're in and what we're talking about. But man, it seems like there's a lot of connections.
But as you expect, we'll probably be doing a spin-off episode on the Philadelphia experiment now.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do the Philadelphia experiment because up until now, I was always kind of like, that's a weird one. I don't really want to touch it. And now I'm like, wait, there's documents of J. Edgar Hoover talking about the Philadelphia experiment. Maybe they didn't go forward in time, but something happened. And now I'm like, I want to know what actually happened.
Yeah.
And we have the documents. But one of the other aspects, okay, now, Phil Schneider, this will be, if people tuned out, they're missing out. One of the craziest things is now that his family went in and is tried to get all the stuff back. Mm-hmm. Everything disappeared.
Yeah, it's all lost in transfer.
But there's video evidence of it existing. Mm-hmm. There's even you can they held it up to cameras so we can see it on the video. But when his family went in to go find it, everything.
There's documentation of it being transferred and stored. Like they stored it in lockboxes, some of it, and there's documents of it being stored in lockboxes, and they're empty. Those boxes are empty.
Gone. Everything's gone.
Yeah.
And his family, they tried to go in, and even they tried to go in and try to get toxicology reports and all that stuff. That was when stuff first started showing up missing, because it's like, oh, it doesn't exist. And they're like, legally you have to keep it for a year.
Yeah.
And they're like, it must have got thrown out. You broke the law. All right, things happen.
Yeah.
Okay, do something about it. Things happen.
Cool. Go to jail. Nope.
Gonna
keep my current job.
Nope. He unalived himself. Yep. Nope. Oh, they got the report on it. It's okay.
Yeah. I'm going to show up with 16 other cases of very prominent people who all just blah, blah, blah.
He died of natural causes.
Themselves.
He died. So he made it all the way through the autopsy of dying of natural causes until the funeral home gets it and goes, what is this?
Yeah.
So that tells me there was already a cover-up even during the autopsy.
And if somebody would have got to that funeral home before they had found that and released that information, I'm sure that wouldn't have came out either.
Or if maybe they had just found or remembered to take off the catheter thing.
Yeah.
Because if that had got removed and then made it to the funeral home would be like, oh, they would have, it's already in the autopsy.
They were just like... we can do whatever.
We did it. It doesn't matter.
We're going to cover it up anyway.
They don't need to be clean.
They don't have to.
They don't have to be clean.
No.
And so...
and the more confusion, we talk about the chaos agents, and there's people in the organizations that come out and say, I was a chaos agent. That was my job, was to create chaos.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
So
you need to read
at
that book.
Point in time.
It's crazy.
So
crazy.
They made it. So in the 95s, the number is, I think, 13 of him and his colleagues that ultimately passed away from mysterious or self-unalivings, and none of them were ever ruled a murder.
Mm-hmm.
With that, don't forget to
be your biblically accurate best.
Best.
Join
Patreon, patreon.com/.
I'm used to Phil saying that. That threw me off.
I need Tylenol.
Go to insanelabs.com with a Z.
Yes.
Use the code BABigfoot. I was just talking to a friend. Get some creatine from there. Creatine. Everybody should be on creatine. Mm-hmm. Everybody and their grandma.
It's one of the most researched supplements there is right now it's very high.
Insane Labs has amazing creatine. Go buy their creatine.
You keep trying to tell me I need to be on creatine.
Well, yeah, I do. You do.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout for content from Courtney.
Yep.
Oh, sure.
And go check out Mike's music.
Follow me on Spotify.
And okay, bye.
Bye.
Ancient days of giants, when the earth was wild and free, a creature roamed the valleys, cloaked in mystery. Is he born of angels' blood and man, a Nephilim so tall, or a shadow of the fallen, yet he the Maker's call? He's a biblically accurate Bigfoot with a lineage from the skies. Not a myth or legend, but a truth that never dies. Is he a remnant of the Nephilim, a titan standing tall? Or does he have the word of God upon him, the last to hear the call?